Original trucks are fantastic performers that provide a unique ride, but how do you know which truck to use? How do you know which original truck is going to work the best with your longboard? Once you've figured out what deck you're going to load your trucks on, in this example we're going to use a torpedo, you need to go and find yourself a measuring tape. You're going to use a measuring tape to find your board clearance, which is a term we use to describe the width of the deck over top of the trucks. That's basically how you figure out if your boards can get wheel bite with the specific truck you're thinking about loading on there. We're going to start with the front mounting bracket up near the nose. You can see there's 4 holes that make up the bracket. The measurement that you're looking for is actually in between those holes. So you can see if you drew a line across the board this way, that's the front holes. Across the board here, that's the back of the bracket. The measurement you're looking for is actually right in between the two. It's right across here. So if you were to measure that, for the torpedo you can see this number is actually right about 6 inches. So 6 inches would be your board clearance for the nose of the torpedo deck by Original Skateboards. Make sure you keep a hold of your nose board clearance number, but the next thing you want to do is measure the tail. You're going to draw 2 imaginary lines across the back set of the 2 mounting bracket holes and the front set of the 2 mounting bracket holes, and then you're going to measure directly in the middle. On the torpedo deck, that's a measurement of 5 inches. So now you have both the measurements that make up your board clearance. We like to denote an N for the nose measurement and a T for the tail measurement. So for this torpedo, it would be N6, T5, and that would be your board clearance. We Americans, for some reason, like to use inches, but if you want to be accurate, you could use millimeters. So now that you have the board clearance numbers for your deck, you're ready to compare them to the required board clearance for each of the 3 sizes of original longboard trucks. We're going to start out with the S6 150mm trucks. These are our shortest model truck, and as such, they're going to require the most clearance to work without wheel bite on your deck. The S6 150mm trucks require a clearance of 4.5 inches or thinner. So if either your nose or your tail measurement is wider than 4.5 inches, the S6 trucks are probably not for your deck. The next truck up is the S8 200mm trucks. These trucks are a little bit wider, so they give you a lot more clearance. For these trucks, you're going to need a board that's 6 inches or thinner in the nose and the tail. If that still doesn't work for your deck, then you can jump up to the S10 250mm trucks. These trucks are our widest trucks and will work on a deck that's 7.5 inches or thinner. Now keep in mind that all of these measurements are approximate, and things like wheel size, deck shape, concave, all that stuff is actually going to affect these numbers. So if you have a deck that's wider than 4.5 inches for the torpedo, for example, which is a 6 in the nose, and then you're loading smaller wheels on there, we usually load 65mm, then it's actually going to work for that particular deck. But the 4.5 inch guideline for the 6 inch trucks is actually just a good number to start at. So if your board's 4.5 inches or thinner in that nose area, you're definitely going to clear. You're absolutely going to be able to load the trucks. If not, you probably want to jump up to the bigger trucks just to make sure you can load a big wheel at the same time. So as long as you take into consideration things like wheel size and the width of your trucks, you're going to be able to find an original truck that works with your deck. Once you find the right combination, you're going to have a deck that rides like nothing else, and you're going to have a ton of fun.